So I was basically contacted this morning, interview, since I'm a huge fan of you guys, like huge fan. I was introduced to Hiatus Kaiyote like 5 or 6 years ago through a friend of mine, which is a jazz musician. And he was like, look, this band, they sound awesome. It is cool, it is expressive, it is like somehow sensitive, and it is beautifully well played music. Wow, I was like super impressed. Pretty curious about the name Hiatus Kaiyote. So how are you guys?
That's one of Nay's names. I think her and some of her friends came up with that name a long time ago, and it just stuck. You know, it was the meaning behind it is kind of like up to interpretation. From that name, there's no real meaning apart. Like, you know, there's just two words put together, and then over like many years, then it defines who we are. You know, so much about the name. To be honest, all of us was just kind of like, it felt pretty natural when it came out of Nay's mouth. You know, we're just like, yep, that sounds like us.
Between you guys as musicians, I know that two of you guys are like formally trained musicians. You are actually not. Like, your training was like the itself and the street and the practice. And
Nay and I are not formally trained musicians. Well, university trained, I guess, whatever that means. So we don't have, you know, a piece of paper telling us that we know how to do music. And we have Bender and Simon who've gone through and studied and learned a lot. The combination is really good to have some people that we need to get something done or need to really figure something out. We have the people to do that. And if we want to, outside of the norm, or think about it a bit differently, coming from a different angle, then we have me and Nay also.
How did you feel the process of being an indie artist and then being praised by artists like Erykah Badu, Questlove, and the Grammy nomination? How was that passing through?
In the beginning, it was every day there was something else that would happen. You know, some other person that we looked up to would hear about us and praise us. And that went on for at least about a year of like almost every day, someone new would pick it up, another country would pick it up, you know, having interviews with people all over the world. And yeah, all of a sudden it was on the global. Definitely a trip to wake up and have these people that we've looked up to love our stuff. Absolutely. It kind of just gave hope for us and our community, and as the Australian music scene as well. This kind of gave a lot of people around us confidence that we might be heard and from other parts of the world, you know, and gave us confidence too to keep pushing forward. It felt like we were on the right track. So yeah, we just kept putting our head down and doing what we do, you know, because like initially we just did what we wanted to do for us. And
how are your creative processes? Do you guys like jam a lot? I've seen that you do that, like through Instagram posts and things like that. Or do someone just writes part of the song or a part of the arrangement, and then you guys get together? How is it? How do you do that?
Every song is so different. So like the process is, the process for every song is different. We have like similar, like we can probably group things together over our career and go like, this song kind of has a similar ballpark to this song. We'll probably record it in a similar way, but maybe next time we'll do it, you know, we'll refine that process. So I guess each song, each feeling has a different process. And in that process, different people lead it at different times.
I'd like to talk about this new album, Mood Valiant. I'd like to know why Mood Valiant? Why that name?
Mood Valiant, that was one of Nay's titles, and her mum used to drive around a Valiant car, which is I think it's a British car, Valiant, or American, but it's kind of, I think it might be American, but we got driven a lot in Australia, and her mum used to drive two of them. She would change, she had like a black and a white one, and she would change colors depending on her mood.
I love that story.
Yeah. So, and that's, you know, that's where the title came from, Mood Valiant, you know, what mood is my mum in? Which car is she going to use? So it's like a homage and a head nod to her mum, which is really beautiful. Yeah, and she could explain it way better than I could, but that's the basic premise behind the title. And then
When I was young and I was like studying the bass and all, I was like, I have to know everything and I need to use like perfectly my metronome and I need to think and hear whatever I'm playing. And it wasn't all the time about feeling. And now it has become more about how does music feel.
Listening to yourself is the hardest thing to do, and that's the best thing to do. That's the real challenge. It's like listening to what is deep within you, and how do you draw that out? How do you bring that out of yourself? You know, yeah, it's definitely the most important thing to me. Just to be a vessel, you know, just to be a vessel for creativity to come through you, rather than you trying to create. You know, you're just trying to be open to creativity coming through you.
It's almost like you're channeling something that doesn't belong to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes that's where you come up with ideas that you just didn't think you could come up with, you know, and that's rare. It's rare. The more music you make, I find the more music I make or I'm a part of, the harder it is to get to that point. But, you know, at this moment in life, like I felt like it was hard. And then after this record's released and the responses being positive, and, you know, I feel like, you know, within all that doubt, you know, like every artist has that doubt, you know, you get that extra wind again and you get that confidence back. So I feel like as a band, we're pretty confident at this moment again to kind of like, we feel like we've gone through so many challenges so far, and the last record was really hard to finish because of everything that was happening in the world, you know, COVID, and it's like a lot of questions coming in, you know, like, why am I doing this? What's the point of this?
What's the
all
point
this stuff, you know. When you release a record and it touches a lot of people, it's like, yes, okay, cool, I'm still doing the right thing, and just gotta, you know, remember that and keep going. And you know, because the opportunity that we have is amazing, and we have an amazing opportunity compared to a lot of other people. So it's good to take that responsibility on and keep sharing and trying to encourage as many other people as we can around us to still keep the confidence to keep going and growing. And
That's
it's a challenge.
Yes, it is a challenge.